So in Jamaica, where you were from, were there jobs advertised for work in Britain at that time?
Well, I couldn't really remember that, because I know a bloke that I used to work with a shop. When I told him I was coming away, he said, "Where are you going?" And I said, "England." He said, "Why? Why you leaving Jamaica?" Because I passed America. He was giving out America cards and things like that, and I failed the test. And that was it. I decided to come to England.
So what were your expectations? What was it like when you literally arrived in England?
Oh, I like, baby, sorry. I landed there, October 1957, go to this house that bloke's supposed to receive me. And the lady said, "Oh no, you can't. He's gone to work and I can't take you in. I can take your suitcase." And I got to walk backward and forward from about 9:30 till about 6 o'clock in the evening before I could get into the house. And as I said before, my fingernails them started to change color. My hair was nipping. So I remember something like that would really take me, and I said, "I'm not stopping in this country."
So tell us about the time, what you can remember of the 1958 riots in Nottingham.
I could remember they had a meeting point just like the Afro up at the centre there. And it was African Road, was it? Yeah. Where we had a little meeting centre. You could go there, have a drink and things like that. But as I said before, you got to in your house or off the street for late 6 inside. You couldn't really run about free because you would attack by the Teddy boys.
Was that a rule across the city? I mean, who made that rule?
Well, the Teddy boys them stop you from walking about. Yeah.
So what did they look like? How did you know they were Teddy boys?
They have chains along their side, the bicycle chain. They have long pointed shoes. They kick you out and things like that. Yeah.
So why do you think the riot started in '58 in Nottingham? What was the reason?
I really couldn't say it, to be truthful, I really couldn't get to the point of the bottom of it. But I know it was very, very, very nasty. A bloke that was living on Cromer Street. I know he got hit with the bicycle chain once. And he got to go to hospital and things like that. I can remember that.
How did it make you feel being in Britain at that time, having just arrived a year before?
I felt sick, and I said I felt sick because I wanted to turn home straight away because I didn't know anything like that was taking place. And nothing like that was in the country, to be truthful. But I stick it, and I stick it too long.
So you ended up being a coal miner. What year was that?
I've been to the pit 1965, and I finished 1987.
So how did you find work in the pit?
Working in the pit, it was, what could I call it? It was a joke, serious joke. You work hard, and you get somebody out, finish your job, and then you could get even a stopover job if you like. Sometimes I stop, go down that afternoon, and come back up next morning.
So which colliery did you work at?
I started off at Cinder Hill for a bit of training, and from there I go to Geglin. My night shift started at Geglin. I thought they put you on night shift just for if you don't like the can't manage. You say, "Oh, I've got enough." But I started off on night with you looking after me, and I has to look after myself as well. And I carry on from 65 until 1987 when I finished.
So what was it like working with men from different nations? What was that like, working with Europeans for the first time, possibly?
Well, I had no problem with them. The only problem I had with, I think they were, I can't remember what they were, Polish or Ukrainian or whatever. And, try to remember. The buses wouldn't pick you up, for a start. Their buses wouldn't pick you up on group. Wouldn't pick you up at all. You got because we had a skilly at the time who take you to work from Atherton Road, Mansfield Road. Can't remember them at the present moment.
So your memories of the miners' strike in 1984.
Oh, yeah.
What's your earliest memories of that?
Well, what they call us when I call out on strike, calling to what's his name, out of Scorgill. Some people were working, some wasn't working, and if they go to there was a picketing at the pit gate. You couldn't go by, some go by and things like that. The police them have to come there and start to sort things out because they have people from miners from the other colliery coming up and things like that. I had a bit of free thing at the miners' welfare. They gave you a loaf of bread and little butter and things like that. But apart from that, I wasn't working. Some, as I said, were working, but I wasn't working.
Why did you choose the decision not to?
Well, if the pit was on strike, I mean, why should I go and work when they are trying to get extra cash for us at the present moment? That's what Scargill was doing, is get extra cash and some working, and it's so hurt that when they do get the extra cash, they are going to inherit it as well.
So did you find that many of the West Indian miners chose not to strike? Was that the case?
Well, yes, one and two didn't really strike, but that, what his name around there, he was working, but he wasn't working on coalface. He wasn't a coalface worker.
So regarding working underground with different people from different countries, did you find that there was any hostility underground?
No. As I said before, it was like brothers. Everybody tried to give you a hand if you're stuck. And it's all there. Same thing, when you come up is a different thing. But when you're down in the pit, it's just close hands, clap hands.
So why do you think that the work was very collaborative underground? You worked well underground, but above ground there was tension.
It is different up there, different.
So why do you think that?
I don't really know. I don't know. I couldn't say that. Couldn't really tell you. But I know when you're down there, from you change your clothes, your clean clothes, put on your working clothes and go down. It's different atmosphere and it's different. Everybody got together and said, well, you're working. That's it.
So why did you want to come to Britain?
Just for job, to get a job, yeah. Yes. In saying that, I was working in Jamaica right up to the point of coming here. But it wasn't regular. It was on and off. It wasn't a guarantee, continued. It's when a firm comes to Jamaica, it's the only chance you have, and there were more dogs than bones.
What do you mean by that?
That means that there were more people seeking a small amount of jobs, which was difficult. When I came here, 1954, ration was still on. So the effect of the war was still around, Yes.
So what do you think that was the biggest changes you had to do to adapt to life in England?
Well, it wasn't difficult, you know, because being in the Commonwealth, you know, it's a similar way of life, you know, not much difference. You get a job, you work, and you look about your family, and that's it, you know. It was and the job was a lot more easy to obtain. You go to the labor exchange and you get a job there.
So did you have experience of the race riots that happened in Nottingham in 1958?
Oh yes. Oh yes, it was frightening. Extremely frightening. Extremely frightening. But where it had occurred, at St. Answell Road, I wasn't living in that area at the time. I was more in the middle of Nottingham, close to the forest. But you still go down to St. Answell Road to do your shopping, you know. Yeah. But it was frightening.
So some people believe that it was to do with interracial relationships. Did you think that was the case?
It was several things, you know. It wasn't anything specific. Some says the men that goes into the pub, you know, they take away the girlfriends and whatever sort of a thing. I really don't know, because I myself didn't really go in the pubs.
How old were you at this time?
Pardon?
How old were you at this time in 58?
27.
So
Yeah.
do you think there was hostility on the streets in general, or was it quiet?
I generally work outside of Nottingham, you know. I didn't really work inside Nottingham, so I would know what happened during the day. When I come home in the evening, I just stay in, you know. I didn't really. But those young folks, they were always on the road and getting themselves involved. Young people. Yes, Teddy boys and our young Jamaican lads, you know. Yeah, that's where the main problem was.
So do you think, as your time as a miner, coal miner at Gedling Colliery,
Yeah.
did you find there was hostility down in the mine, or was it in the community, or neither?
No, it was after I entered the mines that I did find a bit of hostility, you know. But at the outset, because you get a menial job to begin with, you know, you would be doing material handling or conveyor. Conveyors, you operate the conveyor. No, you there was not much. It's when you get on in the battle of, you know, getting the coal, then you find the hostility.
So do you think it was brothers beneath the surface, as it says on the Gedling Colliery banner? Was it very much like that, working as a miner underground?
No, basically in the mines, I mean, for some reason or the other, there was always a comradeship. It doesn't matter who you are, because you're in one spot, you know, or in several spots, and one looks about the other. You know, it isn't. It is a togetherness down there. Basically, it's not. You got to work together, and if you're working together, you got the comradeship.
So why did you want to come to Britain?
Well, to better my life there. And it was part of the motherland, this country was, and it still is. Yeah.
So how did you plan to find work?
Well, when we came here first, well, yeah, somebody introduced you to, like, you know, someone, and it says, oh, where I'm working, there's a vacancy, and then you go along and you get an interview, and if you're suitable for the job, they'll take you on. Yeah.
How was the prospect of coming to England advertised in Jamaica in the first place?
Well, they were saying that there's plenty of jobs, and who want to come can come freely, yeah, and they will look after you as usual. So you come along. Well, I didn't find any fault with it in the first place. When I came here, I didn't have a sweater. That's and it was cold. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was 1959, near the last December, November, December. Yeah, so you know it was pretty cool, and I had no idea that. Well, I had a little bit of idea about coal. I went to America I was in Dade City, Florida, and I was picking fruits. And I tell you, when it snows, when it's frost, it's like snow. That's the first idea I ever had about frost or snow, till when I came here.
So was it welcoming when you first came?
Yeah, yes. There was, you know, there's good people in this country, you know. Because when I came here, and if you want to go anywhere and you don't know where, and you said to someone, can you tell me where such and such a place is? And you know something? If they're not in a hurry, they'll take you and show you. Yeah, they'll take you and show you. So it's not everybody is bad. You have good and you have bad in every society.
How did you find your job at the coal mine?
Well, the coal mine was a bit difficult at first, but because the dust, you know, and when you're going down the mine, you got to have a strong heart. If you have a weak heart, don't bother. Yeah, and you have to have a strong heart and a willpower. Have willpower with it. And once you're amongst other people, you know, you gradually get confidence. You see, if you're on your own, if you was on your own, you wouldn't have that confidence. But when you go with other people who encouraging you, you get confidence. And that was my will. I had confidence. Yeah.
So your time at Gedling Colliery, how would you describe that, working with men from all over the world?
My time wasn't really good at Gedling, because you see, you have to. Everybody got to unite. You can't go down there with anything in your heart about Tom, Dick, or Harry. You all have to get together, because if anything happens, if it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody, you got to help to take them out of that and get them into a place where everybody where they can bring them up. So, and I've done that many a times.
So how true do you think the saying, brothers beneath the surface, is?
Well, really, to me, it was really, really a good experience to know that you work with your fellow men and you can get on without any aggro or whatever. Yeah. So it was really a nice time, yeah, working there.